The lock clicked. I stood there, grocery bags cutting into my fingers, staring at the door like it had betrayed me. I tried again. Nothing. My key didn't work anymore. That's when I saw my suitcase, sitting by the porch like it had been waiting for me. I called her name. No answer. I called her phone. Straight to voicemail. The house was quiet in a way it had never been before. Through the window, I saw movement. Not her, her sister, standing in my kitchen. And she was smiling. My phone buzzed. One text. This is for the best. You need time to figure yourself out. That was it. No explanation. No conversation. Just exile. I sat on the porch steps, bag still in my hands. Because I wasn't just losing my marriage, I was losing my home. It hadn't always been like this. I'd worked long hours, paid the mortgage, kept us steady. But somewhere along the way, I became invisible. Her family stepped in slowly. Advice turned into decisions. And my voice faded until one day it disappeared completely. By the time I realized what was happening, it was too late. I was unstable. Lost. Not pulling my weight. They said it calmly, like facts, and my wife started repeating it. That was when dignity slipped through my fingers. I spent that night in my car, parked under a streetlight, seat reclined just enough to breathe. I watched families through lit windows. Normal lives. I wasn't angry yet. I was hollow, but hollow things can still be filled. Morning came quietly. I washed my face in a gas station bathroom, looked at myself in the mirror, older, smaller, but still there. I told myself one thing. They don't get to decide how this ends. And that thought scared me, in a good way. My phone rang mid-morning. An unfamiliar number. "Hi," the voice said. "This is a housing office. We need to talk about the property." I straightened in my seat, because suddenly I realized they hadn't taken everything. Not yet. The housing office didn't waste time. "There are questions about ownership," the woman said. "Your name is still listed." I closed my eyes, because I'd been told repeatedly that everything was handled, that I didn't need to worry. Turns out I should have. And someone else had been lying. Word traveled fast. Friends stopped calling. My in-laws avoided eye contact. I heard later what was being said, that I'd checked out, that I was not well. They'd built a version of me that couldn't defend itself. So I stopped trying to explain. I didn't argue. I listened, took notes, saved messages. I stopped reacting emotionally. Because once you stop defending yourself, people reveal more. And they revealed plenty, more than they realized. She finally agreed to meet. Public place. Neutral tone. "We need space," she said. "You need to prove stability." I nodded. "Okay," I said. She looked surprised, because she expected a fight. Instead, I gave her time. I met with someone who understood paperwork, deeds, payments, signatures, things I'd trusted others to handle. Turns out, trust leaves footprints, and those footprints led straight back to me. And that changed everything. Something hardened, but not bitterly. I stopped asking what I'd done wrong. I started asking what was true, and the truth didn't match the story they were telling. That clarity felt dangerous. My sister-in-law called. "I'm worried about you," she said. Her voice was soft, practiced. "I'm okay," I replied. Too quickly, too calmly. She didn't know what to do with that, because I wasn't playing my part anymore. I was off her way back. A chance to apologize, to comply, to return quietly. I thanked them and declined, because going back that way meant disappearing again. And I was done disappearing. The tone changed. Messages became careful. Words were chosen slower. They had realized I wasn't panicking anymore, and panic had been their leverage. Without it, they didn't know how to move me, so they tried pressure instead. They called a meeting. Living room. Everyone present. My wife spoke like this was an intervention. "We just want what's best for you." I nodded. "So do I," I said. The room went still, because that wasn't the response they expected. And control slipped a little. Stories started contradicting each other. Dates didn't match. Claims overlapped. I didn't point it out. I let the silence do the work. People began glancing at each other instead of at me. The narrative was wobbling. Later, alone, she snapped. "Why won't you just say something?" she demanded. "I am," I replied, "just not the way you want." She stared at me, because calm is unsettling when someone expects collapse. And she didn't know who I was anymore. I finally spoke clearly, not loudly, not angrily. "I'm not unstable," I said. "I'm not leaving my life behind." They looked shocked, because I'd never said no before, and no is powerful when it's new. I brought documents, paper, dates, proof. I didn't accuse. I explained. One by one, faces changed, because facts don't argue back, and the truth doesn't rush. My father-in-law spoke last. "I think we misjudge you," he said. Not loudly, not proudly, but real. I nodded. That was enough, because dignity doesn't beg. I left that meeting differently. Head up, shoulders straight. Nothing was fixed yet, but something was restored. Myself. And the final step was still ahead. The paperwork came through on a Tuesday. Clear. Final. My name wasn't erased like they'd promised. It was central. I sat with the documents spread across a small table. For the first time in months, my hands were steady, because now the choice was mine. I could have fought harder, could have demanded explanations, could have chased apologies. I didn't. I chose clarity over chaos. Because winning doesn't always mean taking everything back. Sometimes it means walking away whole. She called one final time. "I didn't think you'd actually leave," she said. "I didn't think I'd have to," I replied. Silence stretched. "I need to find myself," she said. "I already did," I answered. And that closed the door gently. Home came quietly. A smaller place. Clean windows. No tension in the air. I unpacked slowly. Every box felt like proof. This space was mine. And peace settled in. Time passed. People reached out. Stories shifted. I didn't correct them. I didn't need to. My life spoke clearly now. Because truth travels without help. I looked back without anger. They took my home, my marriage, my dignity. But they didn't take my future. I took that back myself. Quietly. Completely. And this time, I decide how my life is lived,